welcome to the Demetra K Show. The purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of the things that go on in the Black community to make us a better people. And I also want to say, for those of you guys on Facebook who I'm not friends with for whatever reason, I thought I was public, but since it seems like you guys are having a hard time commenting, when you see the link come up on here, go ahead and hit the link so that you are able to comment in regards to what we are discussing here today. And so, as I said, I also want to thank Donovan. Thank you very much and all that other stuff. Whatever. I'm just playing.
Black woman.
Right. And then Terrence just said, "Oh, show sister." Absolutely, right? Okay. But I don't want to discuss the fight. I want to discuss what happened before the fight. Now, as most of you have probably already seen by now, Wilder went off on a reporter by the name of Radio Raheem for asking him to clarify a comment that he made to Tyson Fury during a fight promo. He shouted in Tyson's face, the other boxer, "My people have been fighting for 400 years." Okay? Now, Radio Raheem asked Wilder what he meant by the statement, and all hell broke loose. Wilder most adamantly exclaimed the following: "Your people too." You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to do it in my best, Wilder voice, but I think I'm failing.
It was Mr. T voice.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. I was like, woo. Okay, so he says, your people too. You know what I'm talking about, Radio Raheem. I don't have to explain what's already understood. Google that shit and see what I'm talking about, okay? Now, so for a lack of better words, Wilder told Raheem to stop cooning because he is also black and started the question with, "What do you mean, your people?" So when Radio Raheem approached him, he says, "What do you mean by your people?" And that's when all hell broke loose, okay? Now, honestly, it's so refreshing to see and hear a celebrity black man not being afraid to tell the truth about white supremacy and what it is, and, just basically tell it off like, I don't care. I'm going to be me, right? It's also refreshing to see and hear a black man with a celebrity platform use it to be unapologetically black. As I was reading a lot of the comments from black women, within some of the posted videos, many of those women exclaimed how much of a turn on it was to see and hear a black man speak in such a manner regarding black people.
They love getting us killed.
No, we weren't trying to. We don't love getting you killed. But a lot of black people, women was like, well, damn.
No, I had a girlfriend, remember, when I would get aggressive, she'd love that. She'd love it.
We had this conversation on Tuesday. And for those of you guys don't know, this is Donovan. He doesn't want to be on camera just yet. You will see him on the video that is produced on YouTube. But yeah, we as black women, we love when black men step up to the plate. And now I want to also tie that into a subject that somebody sent me right before we got on here, in that they want to know, why is it that black women are having to step up in the leadership role more and more, opposed to black men doing it. So I want you guys to think about that as I continue. But yes, we as black women love when y'all take the lead. You know what I mean? So a lot of black women are like, yo, wow.
I'm a little moist.
Well, some did say that. Some did say that. I just didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it. Okay, so let's get back to it, right? Yeah. All right, so I would have to agree, it is a turn on. I mean, it is what it is. Now, on the other hand, we have Marc Lemont Hill, who was a political commentator on CNN until he got fired for making anti-Semitic comments in regards to Palestine and Israel. Now, during the speech he was giving for the UN's International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, he said, "We have an opportunity not to just offer solidarity in words, but to commit to political action, grassroots action, local action, and international action that will give us what justice requires, and that is a free Palestine from river to the sea." All right? So he was also asking for countries to boycott and divest from Israel until they do right by Palestine. Now, this is highly problematic for Jews because one of the last times a boycott was called for, Hamas was created, and that's a militant Palestinian group, okay, that shot missiles and stuff into Israel. And you guys who are familiar with the story know the whole story. Now, he was asking, said that. So the Anti-Defamation League took issue with the "from the river to the sea" portion of his speech, saying that that kind of language causes divisiveness and hate against Israel. In other words, it causes hate and divisiveness against Jews. Now, this is the Anti-Defamation League.
Of course they're going to say that. They're backed by the Jews. But go ahead.
Right. Okay, so of course, Hill denied that he was trying to be anti-Semitic and offered the following on Twitter. My reference to the river from the river to the sea was not a call to destroy anything or anyone. It was a call for justice. But in Israel and in the West Bank / Gaza, the speech was very clearly and specifically said those things. This is what he says. It's kind of jacked up. But he basically was trying to like plead his case. Like, yo, I didn't mean anything by that. I was just, guess going to bat for the Palestinian people, whatever. Okay. Now, he also said, I support Palestinian freedom. I support Palestinian self-determination. Hill tweeted, adding, I do not support anti-Semitism, killing Jewish people, or any of the other things that attributed to my speech. I have spent my whole life fighting these things. Now, some of the offended have actually accused Hill of going full on Farrakhan. Okay? Now, funny how things work. Hill apologized by saying, no. Okay, so they accused him of being full on Farrakhan, which is ironic because Hill was actually forced to denounce Farrakhan for being anti-Semitic not too long ago.
When has Farrakhan been anti-Semitic?
Well,
But go ahead.
the Anti-Defamation League and, various people have always accused Farrakhan of being anti-Semitic, but sounds like Farrakhan and Marc Hill were saying the same thing. But Marc Hill, due to pressure from the Jewish community, denounced Farrakhan. In fact, Farrakhan had put up a picture of him and Hill together in promotion of Farrakhan's album release. And so I guess the white supremacist Fox News and that crowd said, oh, well, look at here. Here's Marc Hill with Farrakhan. Oh, he's an anti-Semite and all this other stuff. And so Marc Hill came out and says, I disagree with that. That's not who I am. I just took the picture. Please stop using all that nonsense. And so here he is in the same situation that Farrakhan is in. Not that Farrakhan cares, but so as I said, funny how things work. Hill apologized by saying, I'm sorry that my word choices caused harm, and as a communicator, I must take responsibility for the reception of my message. If Marc was speaking the truth, why is he sorry? You know what I mean? So no matter what position you have, how much money you're making, or who you're earning it from, never be afraid to be black and honest. Basically, be a Deontae and not a Marc. So I want to know you guys' thoughts on it. And again, you guys, for those of you guys who are not friends with me for whatever, you can't comment, please. If you see a link come up, please hit that link so you are able to comment, because I want to address each and everybody's comments. So I will get back to you guys' comments here. My voice. All right. And so Sydney says, let me guess, Donovan Sadiq said he lost. No, you didn't say Deontae lost.
No, not at all.
No, he didn't say he lost. He was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah. And I'm actually saying that too because
yeah, he's like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, I don't follow boxing anymore because there's too many titles.
Right. So
I don't follow.
Right, and admittedly, I didn't know who this Deontae cat was until I saw the video. I was like, ooh, okay. And Stevie says, yo, I love that promo. Yeah, I think a lot of people did because Deontay Wilder, he is very unapologetic about who he is and speaking his truth in regards to black people. And so, of course, he took issue with the black dude saying, well, what do you mean your people? He was like, what you mean my people? It's your people too, And then so he said, also, Steve, he kept it way real. Yes, he did. And so Cindy said, what did Hill do? I hope I will explain that. And Tay says, hey.
Hey, Shantae.
And Terrence says, can't you be pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel at the same time?
Absolutely. I mean, you have black friends, you have white friends, don't you? You have Mexican friends,
Right. I mean, because I guess, the dynamics of Palestine and Israel are so skewed. What is it, the Jewish and the Muslims?
All or nothing. That's bull.
Yeah, like you said, it's all or nothing. And something I was reading this morning says that just because you're a Palestinian doesn't mean that you're necessarily a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a Christian or a non-denominational, whatever. But like you said, people have this all or nothing thing. But to Terrence's point, why can't you support both? But I guess because the powers that be, they didn't like Marc Lemont Hill saying what he said, because for those of you guys who do know the history about Palestine and Israel, the Jews are saying that type of language is divisive and is harmful because the last time they called for, one of the last times they called, or the first time I guess you could say, the Palestinians called for a boycott, a war broke out. And so they're saying that's kind of along the lines of starting, you know, a harmful rhetoric.
Well, what I think it is, and this is my experience with a lot of people that are so-called Jewish. Remember, the real Jews aren't here. These people who call themselves Jewish. They like to talk about everybody else, but don't want nobody to talk about them.
Oh yeah, well I mean, but that also, but so it's like to me, Marc Lemont Hill. I guess we can call him Mark because that's kind of a long name. But you're going against Farrakhan, but yet they turn around and do the same thing to you. So it was like, was it all in vain? Should you have just really stood your ground and said, you know, while Farrakhan may have his thing, I'm not going to denounce him because a lot of Marc Lemont Hill's stuff, he was saying how he doesn't agree with people getting, censored, whether it's Farrakhan, Alex Jones, and those type of people. But it's like when you turn around and denounce Farrakhan for saying essentially, now maybe Farrakhan says it with a little bit more heat, but he said the same thing you said. And so now you're sitting here unemployed, trying to apologize to people who will never accept your apology. I mean, the Jewish people who are against him are very clear in that they not only do they want this man to lose his job on CNN, they're also gunning for his job at Temple University because he is a professor there. And they want him to be fired from there too. So it's like, yo, well, to one point, it's like, well, you guys are kind of proving his point in that, yeah, we probably do need to side with Palestine a little bit more, but it's also a real slap in the face to him. Like, golly, I did what you guys asked me to do. I apologize for, being friends with Farrakhan.
And you're still sticking it into me with no Vaseline.
Yeah, you're right. What else do you want from me? You want my job, my livelihood. You've already taken my spotlight, on CNN.
But see, they're also showing us a very good example. This is the problem with black folks. We are so quick to forgive. We need to do what they do. If you cross that line with us, we're done.
Well, I'm so glad you said that because my closing commentary is going to tie all what you just said in. And so let's see. Let's see. And so Terrence, you said that's bullshit. I agree it is. But, what are you going to do? It's like, and I said this on somebody else's post, when you allow your enemies to tell you who your friends are, that's when you have a problem. I mean, he allowed the Jewish community, not all Jewish community, but those who have the power, to tell him what to do in regards to another black man. And he did it, and now you're saying, oh, well, I didn't really mean that. I misconstrued my words and this, that, and the other. But it's like now they're doing it to you. So I agree. And so you said, why don't they ban Trump for CNN for all the racist stuff he says? Well, I mean,
ratings.
Well, you're right. And then Mark is expendable. I mean, he's just another black dude. Look at all the black people they've gotten rid of on CNN. They got rid of Roland Martin, and a whole host of other black people who were on the show. So I don't think it's a secret at this point that CNN is anti-black people. I mean, or at least anti-black commentators, if you will, right?
Even Soledad O'Brien, who used to work for CNN.
Yeah, Soledad O'Brien was like a flagship, there to the show, and so they got rid of her along with at the same time with Roland Martin. And then you says, D, but he'll speak though. We need him as a college professor educating us. Meanwhile, Wilder has a different platform. Well, I'm not saying, obviously they have a different platform, but I guess what I'm really saying is why apologize for that? If you're speaking the truth, why apologize for it? But at the same time, remember that what you did to another brother, the other brother being Farrakhan, thinking that, you were making friends and these people are going to love me so much more because they made me denounce them. But damn, you said less fiery stuff about, in fact, I don't even know if he mentioned the Jews as much as, talking about Palestine, and they got rid of you, and now they're gunning for your other livelihood. They're not going to be happy till your ass is on the corner, on the street. And so it's like, what good is apologizing, doing it to Donovan's point? We are always apologizing and asking for forgiveness from people who don't necessarily, as Farrakhan said, have never even asked us to. And we're tap dancing for approval, and for what? You're still expendable. I mean, this is a prime
Well,
example.
you know, and that's that Christian thing that they've beaten into our heads. Oh, forgive those who trespass against you. No, eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Well, that's what we are, the ideology we subscribe to, though. You know, and then you say not unemployed. Well, no, they want him unemployed. I mean, they're gunning for his job at Temple University. And so Sydney says, "Damn, I agree with Donovan." I think about the whole forgiving thing. And then Terrence says, "It just lets us know who really runs the media." Yeah. So to your point, Terrence, doesn't I guess I try to say doesn't not, but doesn't Farrakhan always speak to that? Yeah. That the Jews are in control of the
entertainment.
Media and entertainment. And so, you know, we see what's going on, especially with the Women's March. They're trying to get rid of Tamika Mallory and the other Muslim sister. I can't remember her name right off. They're trying to get rid of them because they won't denounce Farrakhan. Alyssa Milano was like, "I'm not going to speak until you guys get rid of her." And so now, I guess the owner and CEO of the Women's Movement March is saying, "Yo, I need them to step down." Because I guess Alyssa Milano is more important than them not denouncing.
Remember, she's of Italian heritage. So.
Right. Well, she's white.
Right.
She's white. And so, and Charles Hay was happy. He says, "Hey, it's Sunday evening and it's Demetra Sunday Live. Woohoo!" And then Sydney said, we always get censored. Yeah. And then you say, "I miss Melissa Harris Perry. She was on MSNBC." Yeah, I mean, Melissa was cool, but you know they got rid of her too. They didn't get rid of her right away. They started to, I guess,
phase her out.
Well, yeah, they phased her out by cutting her show, letting other stuff.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah,
and then they just...
or co-opt her show or interrupt her show, and then she basically said, and these are the words she used: "I'm not gonna be your mammy."
Right.
You know, you ain't finna be telling me what to do like that.
Another sister that's very powerful. She's a contributor on MSNBC. What's her name? Mrs. Wiley, Maria Wiley. The sister. She used to be the assistant AG, the mayor of New York, Bloomberg. I mean, beautiful sister. But she's up there. She's a lawyer and she's a kind of contributor. So if you go, her last name is Wiley. I can't remember her first name, but she's really good. She's really good. She's been talking about what's going on with the Trump thing, and she's very powerful.
I have to check her out. And Latie, I hope I said that right. Robinson, he says, "What do you know about Wilder?" Nothing. Nothing other than nothing other than he is the WBC 2000, or he's been the WBC champion, heavyweight champion since 2015, and that he won by a split well, not won, but it was a split decision last night. And I did some research on him. He's married to a black woman, which I was just like, "Ooh, thank you, Jesus."
Most boxers are.
Well, I did, because I was like, okay,
most boxers are married to.
And not that I was looking, but it just said, okay, who he was married to, when I Googled him, and I said, okay, let me click on it and see if it's a sister. Ooh, I was like, yes, it's a sister.
Yeah. If you go through the history of boxing, most of the black boxers are married to black women.
Well, good. Yeah. Hey, Samuel says, "Greetings. You talking about this?" He says, "CNN Corrupt News Network." Yeah.
Very nice
network.
acronym.
And then T says, "I need to know what the title of this means." Well, I was basically wanting to say that Marc Lemont Hill, gosh, that's a long name, was very apologetic about telling the truth. And he was also doing, to me, it sounds like a lot of the bidding of the very people who got rid of him, opposed to being a Deontae Wilder, who was more or less like, "Listen, I'm not," because I firmly believe that Radio Raheem, when he asked him that comment, was wanting him to maybe backtrack a little bit or maybe scat dance. "Well, you know, I didn't really mean it like that. What I meant was," and he was like, "No. I said what I said. Okay?" "I said what I said. There is no, well, what happened was, okay, you know, you might have taken what I said out of context. I know I was a little angry." He's like, "I said what I said." Okay? So that's what I mean. And so let's see. Terrence, you say, "I would not apologize if I knew I was going to get fired. I'm cussing everybody out on my way out the door." Maya Wiley. Okay, I've never heard of her. And he also said, "Just like Kathy Griffin, she regretted apologizing for the Trump bloody head deal because they were going to fire her anyway." Yes, and I saw that interview with her. If you guys don't know who that is, Kathy Griffin. Okay, I've seen her before. She took a photo with a bloody head of a decapitated Trump. The head was bloody, and she said it was for satirical purposes, which a lot of people, mainly his supporters, didn't find that funny, and she lost a lot of money and gigs due to that. And she says she apologized, but in retrospect, she says, I wish I didn't apologize. And she says, I'm sticking by what I did.
Yeah, because the results were still the same. If you
Right.
apologize, you didn't apologize.
Right. And Latia said, no, what does that mean, no? And then Cindy says, if we went by today's standards, we would have counseled him before he became aware. Just saying, they said cancel Marc. And then Charles said, the Jews control the media, the finance industry, entertainment, all these DHAL citizenships they control are Congress, President, and Supreme Court. They committed the bombing of the World Trade Center on 9/11. Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of conspiracy talk concerning that. So, I mean, I don't think it makes anybody anti-Semitic to say that the Jews primarily control the entertainment industry. They just do.
They do.
Why is that hateful? And so, I mean, I don't understand. And then you also say, Latia, he is married to a black lady but engaged to a mixed lady. Huh? So he's married. Wait.
Yeah. You gotta think about that. Think that through. Think that what he just said.
So you say he is married to a black lady but engaged to a mixed lady. That's kind of strange. Or maybe he's not. I guess he's not divorced from the black lady yet. But what is the mixed lady mixed with? Because I mean, if she mixed with black, hell, she black to me. And Will Muhammad was having says facts. You on point, says these kinds of brothers need to do like my dad used to say, man, act like you got a pair. I know brothers, real ones, love to prove they ain't no punk. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean by, you know, no shade to Marc Lemont Hill, because I'm not saying that he's all the way on the left of the cooning. I've seen him speak up in regards to black people, but it's just like, you're allowing these people, like, because when is somebody going to say, well, is what Farrakhan's saying true? Is what he's saying true? And we know a lot of times that Mr. Louis Farrakhan's words are taken out of context. They take that little part of the sound bite and then try to say, oh, well, this is what he said, but they forget the beginning and the end.
Yeah, you have to get the whole context.
Get the whole context. And so, I mean, when is it going to be okay to just say, I said what I said? You know? And then, hey, Marcus, she says, join in with the link. Hey there. Today's topic is, okay, so he's just putting up the topic. Today's topic is why be Marc Lemont Hill when you can be a Deontae Wilder. All right. So don't forget to hit the link if you want to comment. And Latia says Wilder was selling tickets. He does nothing for the people I'm from, where he's from. Okay, so where is that? Do tell, since you seem to be a little bit of an authority on Deontae Wilder. So do tell us a little bit about what you know firsthand.
Now, notice we're saying Deontae Wilder, not Dominic Wilder. So Tay, you know, you keep that son of yours in check there. So something about those Wilders.
Oh, okay. And then Cindy says, so cancel Wilder. Well, why are we canceling Wilder, if you guys don't mind me asking? And then T, I hope I'm saying that right. He says, yes, look it up. Okay, I will look it up. But, I mean, do tell what you know about Deontae. I mean, like I said, I just saw the brother the other day when Brother Ben X actually posted the video. And I was like, whoa, wow. You know, to me, that is refreshing. And like I said, I love the fact, now I don't know all about this guy. I mean, I guess, you know, once you get on the scene, then more people are kind of inquisitive about who you are. And so, but from what I saw of him, I love the fact that he was not scared and backing down because he had all the cameras in his face. He was like, I said what I said, dude. You know, and so somewhere, somehow, he, you know, obviously being a black man, he feels oppressed, and rightfully so. So it sounds like that's something he wanted to highlight. And then let's see. Tay says, see, Donovan, don't make me send my son over there. She says, watch yourself. Okay?
There it is. Something about those Wilders.
Watch yourself. And Samuel says, not apologizing like the white senator from Mississippi who made a reference that of a contributor invited her to a public lynching. She would be on the front row. Yep, I can't remember her name. Cindy Hyde, somebody. In front row in an interview, she says she stood by her statement. She was elected by more than 70,000 votes. And you know what? Not only was she elected by more than 70,000 votes, she was helped elected by, I think it's 17 to 18% black Republican men. And so 17 to 18% of black Republican men did not find a problem with her saying that she would be on the front row of a lynching, or instead of hanging, but damn, what's a lynching? It's a lynching. Front row of a hanging if the guy invited her. And so I would just ask, those black men who voted for her, what about that was appealing to you?
Well, I don't think it was appealing to them what it is. You're always going to have that group, like you always say, that's going to be there for the power. They don't care how they get it. They just want the power and the influence.
But gosh, I mean, she's going to be at the front row of a hanging and you voting for her?
If it takes, if that's going to get me appointed to something, absolutely.
I mean, I'm just saying, these are just regular voters, though.
I know, but that shows you how ignorant they are. They think because I'm going to bow down to mass and do what mass to say, I might get an extra chicken bone in that.
I mean, you live in Mississippi, so that hanging could be you. And to me, that also made you think, well, wow, have you been to any hangings lately?
Yeah. That
you would just so freely profess, oh, well, hell, I will go to the front row of a hanging if you invited me. Like you, and she's what, 58, I think, so.
She looks older than that.
And she does. But you're 58, so you're young in today's terms. So it's not like you were around in 1918 where they was actually lynching people like after Sunday church. You know what I mean? And then Cindy, you say, D, we would have canceled him in today's society standard. He recently became aware. Right. Well, you know, that's a beautiful thing when you become aware and you start to tell everybody about your awareness. And rightfully you should. Now, obviously, that takes a lot of work to become aware. We are always a work in progress when we are waking up. That's why I take exception to the word I'm woke, because if you woke, then take your ass back to sleep. You know what I mean? Because we are waking up. We are continuously waking up, learning more.
Well, let me add to that real quick. You know, a lot of people keep forgetting that during the French Revolution, that was the time called the awakening, the Enlightenment. So it's kind of the same thing that, you know, people just forgot that that's been going on for a very long time.
Right, but golly, it's like, when we gonna get there? You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
When did the French Revolution take place? In the 1700s?
Yeah, the 1800s. Yeah.
Right, and so Al says, will it ever come a day that at least once that black people won't have something going on and other races leave us alone? Well, that day will never come. However, we can minimize the effect that it has on us by stop being so divisive. I would say stop being so divisive first of all, because every time I go on Facebook, I every day, throughout any time of day, I always see somebody making a divisive post, whether it's black women don't do this, black men don't do that.
You know what? Look, I thought you're not supposed to talk about me on this show.
Well, yeah, okay. we working on you. You're a work in progress, okay, brother? But I'm just saying in general, you know, it's like we're so divisive. How can we unite when we don't even like each other? And then we don't even like each other out in the public, you know, because it used to be a time when you fighting with your significant other or somebody within your race. You did that behind closed doors, but we just get on Facebook and any other book and openly degrade our black man and our black women.
Queens, our black queens.
Well, I mean, that's what we can. So Al, to your point, we can minimize the effects, but that's not going to happen until we stop being so divisive. And then Cindy says, Dean Donovan, I'm so happy for you too. I am scrolling through my feed and I see this had been shared on a lot of groups. Oh, well, you know what? Also, we have to thank Marcus for that. Yes. And I'd be remiss to not thank Marcus, because Marcus is very instrumental in making sure that this goes forward to a lot of other people. And so I would say thank you to Marcus. And so I'm glad that you were seeing it in a bunch of groups. And Samuel says, Charles Evers, Medgar Evers' brothers, was one of those that supported her, basically saying she waited, taken out, or she was what she said was taken out of context. Okay, well, let me get this right. The brother of Medgar Evers, a civil rights martyr, I guess, if you will, who was murdered by white supremacy. His brother, Charles Evers, was co-signing what she said.
Well,
I mean, in a loosely roundabout way, wasn't his brother lynched?
Right, but see,
I mean, I know he wasn't hung, but you know, he was murdered in front of his family.
No, he was shot with a shotgun.
That's still lynching. Yeah.
But you got to remember that's not unusual. People will do whatever they got to do to achieve power and influence. And what was that other civil rights person's brother?
It was Martin Luther King's son.
Yeah.
And I think the daughter, they was,
they were all cooning
for Trump and all that other stuff. Yeah, so that's, you know what, that's unfortunate, because I doubt very seriously that Medgar Evers would have been supporting a woman who, and let's be honest, we know that Mississippi is, you know,
it is the last state in every category.
Yeah, the last state, but the first in racism.
Yes.
You know, it's up there with your Alabamas and your Georgias and that kind of stuff. And so I doubt very seriously that Medgar Evers would have been, you know, locking elbows with this woman and saying, oh gosh, you guys are just too sensitive.
She's going to be a great representative.
Wow. And then As somebody else said, Samuel, you said she was unapologetic about saying it. Like,
oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I said it.
Yeah, she was unapologetic.
And they voted for her overwhelmingly. Well, wow.
Matter of fact, she doubled down. She's taking pictures and stuff. She doubled down.
And then they actually showed some pictures that she was taking in some Confederate something.
Yeah, because when the issue came up of her going to a separate segregated school.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah,
she was going. She attended a segregated high school.
And sent her kids to a segregated
high
school.
And so, as we said, she's 58, so it's not like she was around Jim Crow or even, I mean, she's even on the tail end of the civil rights movement.
Our age. Well,
right.
Not, we're right. Not that old, but you know what I mean? You know, she's in that circle.
And Charles said, did you see Kareem Hunt getting fired by Kansas City Chiefs earlier this week? Caught on tape by TMZ having an altercation, shoving and kicking a woman, not condoning violence at any time, but, oops, let's see. I just think I want to, okay, let's see more. Okay, but any time, but people, especially young people, do stupid stuff. Ben Roethlisberger raped 2 women we know of, but he is still a hero. Also, I'm glad you brought that up in regards to Kareem Hunt, because I also saw, I can't remember who I saw talking about it, but they said the part that we didn't see on the video that was released by TMZ is the part where he kicked the women out, the white women, for I understand it was white women.
When will you brothers learn?
He kicked the white women out the room, I guess because they wanted to do drugs and alcohol, and so once he kicked them out, before the tape started, they were in the hallway. They were calling him niggers and stuff, and so then after that point is the video that we saw. And so again, I'm not condoning violence either, but let's tell the full story if indeed that is the full story.
So what do I always say on my show? Brothers need to stop putting themselves in that position.
I mean, I agree. I mean, hell,
you're talking about millions of dollars in a contract that they just cut him loose over what? A piece of ass.
Well, maybe if the story is true about these women calling him niggers and stuff after he kicked them out of the room due to drugs and alcohol, maybe, I don't know. I'm just going off of what I heard. I'm not saying it's true, but he said they were minors. Okay, so did he? If I understand this right, he found out that they were minors, and then he put them out, right? Is that right? Because I think I did hear that. But, so once he found that out, you know, maybe he was like, okay, yeah, this is obviously going to jeopardize my future.
When you're a professional athlete or a expensive businessman, you need to really be careful of who comes and checks for you, because there's an agenda that they're out there.
Right. Well, I mean, for those of you guys who have seen Spike Lee's movie, He Got Game, I thought that was an awesome movie. Honestly, I think they should show that movie at every rookie camp. You know, maybe take the brothers to the side. And
absolutely. No, and, you know, they
we got to do something special for you. I know Herm Edwards does it.
Yeah, there's a few other guys that go in there.
But I'm saying specifically to the brothers.
Pac-Man Jones, he goes through it and does it.
This, like you said, is by design. These women are put there in place. Who's to say? I mean, they're minors. How would you know where this man is? How did you get in
ID,
there?
Right.
Somebody probably sent them over there. Hey, you know, go over to this room. Then, you know, let's set this brother up. And so, you know, if he did find out they were minors and he put them out, and then they got mad and started calling him niggers and stuff, I mean, that might get a foot to your ass. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, most people don't want to be called niggers, especially by no white woman. I mean,
hey,
I don't know.
You can call me whatever you want, because it's not going to affect my $360 million contract.
Right, but and again, I'm not condoning violence with, you know, this Kareem Hunt guy, but I mean,
it's a shame.
Let's tell the whole story so we can have a full conversation, because when we, Sammy says, leave Delilah alone.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, let's have the whole conversation so we can have an honest conversation, opposed to saying, well, no, because we hear that a lot, especially when it comes to, I can't remember the team that it was a bunch of white athletes, female athletes, who was on a bus singing a rap song, and they were using the word nigger, nigger, nigger. And I've even seen a lot of black sports pundits excuse it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's a song.
It's a sorority. They're doing
and it was innocent. They didn't really know what they meant, but it's like we keep giving them a pass. And so to exclude the fact that these white girls, and because they weren't women, it sounded like they were minors, to exclude the fact that these white girls were calling him a nigger as a dishonest thing, that's to say, well, we don't care about that, which we know, but I'm just saying, we only care about the fact that he put his hands on these girls, but we don't want to talk about why, not excusing it, okay?
Yeah, you know, the sad thing is, do you know how many athletes, black athletes, lose their contracts over, guess what? What's the number one reason they lose their contract?
Over the power of the P?
Yeah, well, no, that's not really that. But we're talking about baseball, football, and basketball especially.
Well, do tell.
Marijuana.
Really?
They lose their contract over bullshit. You could smoke the weed after your career is over.
They don't want to.
And there you go. You know, it's just sad. It's just sad.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but I guess worse things can happen. I mean, you could be a Kaepernick and take a knee and just be ostracized forever, right?
Right.
And so Cindy says, I've been there on a rookie camp. We are lost. We fell for the decoy 90%. We fall for the decoy 90% of the time, and that's too bad. I mean, why even have these girls in your room?
Well,
because clearly you didn't know them.
Well, did it in the 90s, the prophet group, Belle Biv DeVoe said never trust a big butt and a smile?
Well, we talking about white girls. I don't know how big the butt is unless.
Well, now I'm talking about these girls now.
Yeah, I mean, but just like you said, Donovan, we got to use wisdom. Why have these girls in your room? Clearly you didn't know these women or these little girls because they were minors. Why invite them in the first place? I mean, I get it. You're a man. You got money. You got power. Let me just wham, bam. But as Charles said, Kobe Bryant learned not a peep out of him since that rape charge.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, and that happened how many years ago? 15,
about 15
damn near 20 years ago.
His daughters were getting ready to go to college.
Yeah, so that was many moons ago, and yet we still have these brothers falling for the shenanigans.
And just think about this, brothers. What if it's you're in camp or you're on the team and there's only 2 positions left? How do you know that white guy didn't send those girls over there to get you dropped off the
That's what I would be asking. How did you even know I was here? Because it shouldn't be that easy to get up to a football star. I don't know if he's a star, but football player's room. Yeah. And you guys, if you are on here and you want to comment, please hit the link that is throughout the feed so that you can comment. And so, yeah, Kobe Bryant is a great example. He's been on the straight and narrow ever since.
We think.
Well, we ain't heard about him.
Right.
And Al says the incident when Hunt happened on Kansas City Chiefs bye week. He didn't have to be in that situation. Opposed to most players take a vacation or rest at home with family or vacation. Well, so yeah, it sounds like he put himself in a situation. That's too bad because at some point in time, we got to start using wisdom. I mean, and it sounds like they completely got rid of him. I don't know how much money that cost him in the long run, but
I would definitely be telling my nephew, my son, hey, look, quit with the bullshit, take care of your business, and go with what you got to do.
But will they listen though? You know
Mine will because because we have that dynamic. It's sad that a lot of families don't have that dynamic.
Yeah. And then Cindy says, however, he put hands on a woman before, and then in June he put hands on a man. Okay, wow. It caught up to you. It caught up to you, and this time you put your teeth.
They have a record.
Okay, but wait. Now this is where my mind goes, you guys. Was the woman he put a hand on before, was she black? Does anybody know what the race of the woman that he put hands on before was? If somebody can answer that for me, then I will go where I was going.
Wait, I can answer that for you. She was black because that's why you didn't hear about it because it was no big deal.
Well, that's why I was going with it. I mean, why? Was she black? That's all I want to know for her first. Is she black? And then he says, Cindy says, your friends, and I think, what's happening? He says, seeing with your cyclop eye, your third eye. Yeah. Yes, you gotta. Don't believe with these eyes, see, but go trust your gut, trust your intuition. I mean, and go with the wisdom of people you've seen go before you in that. I mean, hell, what was the dude that beat up his wife in the elevator and it was caught on film?
On the he was on the Baltimore
Ray
Ravens.
Rice.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, he beat the living.
Lost a major contract, and him and his wife, even though the organization and him have brought him back to do talks and stuff about domestic violence, they ain't offering him no damn contract. That woman cost him the whole thing.
Well, the woman didn't cost him. He cost him, by not controlling himself. And then, so Cindy says, you meant after he was busted with cheating 300 females, right, Kobe. So, well, yeah, I mean, he probably was getting it around before that, but it take a rape charge by a white woman that you didn't actually rape to get you on the straight and narrow. That before, as I would like to say, to prove to you that fat meat is greasy.
Okay.
Kobe said fat meat is greasy. Now I get it,
I mean, it's bad enough Kobe gets a rap for marrying a Mexican chick. So, I mean, he gets the rap for that. But
don't be divisive. I'm just playing. And then so Samuel's agreeing with you in the point of that, you being influential over your sons and your nephews. And then you also say possible setup. I mean, that's where my mind will go. Was it a setup?
Has to be.
How would these little girls, because that's what they are. I mean, shut up, B. But these little girls, how would they, know to come in there? And for those of you guys on the podcast, we're going to come out and then we're going to come right back. Again, don't forget to hit the link. Hey, Deanna, she says, hey, mama. How are you? I'm glad to see you on here. It's my
Go,
daughter.
Deanna. All right.
And then
You
Al
supposed
says,
to be studying?
she on top of it. And Al says the Chiefs record is good and they can potentially make their Super Bowl, so he lost playoff money as well. Damn.
Yeah.
See, because I'm in public relations and I teach that. Sometimes you're going to have to make decisions on the fly. Somebody comes and knock at your door. You look at the peepholes, 2 white girls. What do you want? Is the room service? No. We just want to come in. Not today, Satan. And then in your mind, all that stuff has to be going through your head. Okay, if I let these white girls in my room, I'm potentially going to get caught up in some rape nonsense. I could potentially lose some contract money, some playoff money. Not today, Satan. Get thee behind me and never come before. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to be quick.
Well, D, you told me to stay my ass out the strip club. Ever since I've done that, I had all this extra money.
And look how much money piling up.
Exactly.
Go ahead. And Deontae says, where did that shirt come from? See? Okay. I told Al that my daughter was going to want this. It's a long shirt, too. It goes all the way down. I'm trying to cover up more. And Marcus says, join the link. So, hey, you guys, please hit the link again. If you are unable to comment, please hit the link because I do want to get to each and everybody's comments.
That'll be all day, all night show.
That's okay. You ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't going to strip club no more, so what else you going to do? And Al says, it proves to me pro-black athletes have awful taste in white women. Lord, so you know what? Hey.
I'm going to have to agree.
I didn't say that. Y'all said.
I'm going to have to
agree.
Anything
y'all said
goes.
I didn't.
Anything
But
goes.
I mean, I don't see any more comments, and so I just continue on. But we just gotta use wisdom. I don't have that kind of money yet, but I know that, as I said before, you gotta just be able to think really quick. What is this gonna cost me? And I teach people this all the time. Whether you're gonna get mad or something, you gotta ask yourself, what is getting mad going to cost me? Is it gonna cost me some money, some time, some energy, a relationship? Some reputation, what is it all going to cost me? And so, as athletes, they need me on the team. They do. You got all this to lose. Not only just the money, but a legacy.
No, if you're on the team, see, that would be bad because then the owners can't cut the payroll from these guys making dumb mistakes.
I mean, I guess, I can hook them up to that game, too. I mean, don't fall for the okie doke. I mean, come on, I'm a black woman. But if I was to put myself in a black man's shoes and I heard the knock, 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 who is it? It's me, Becky. Not today. If you ain't dropping off no omelets or no fresh towels, you ain't coming in here. I mean, I'm just saying that just should have been his attitude. Now, I'm not saying for him not to date who he wants to date, but you are in. As Al said, he's on a bye week, so I don't know necessarily what he's doing. Maybe he was there to have a good time. I don't know. But it just wouldn't have been me. They'd have to talk about me. Plus, I'm already in some hot water for beating up somebody else, or 2 other people, one being a man and a woman. I'm just going to lay low. Maybe I need to be in this hotel room to get my thoughts together. So, woo side, see where I want to go with the next portion of my life. I mean, I don't know. And Charles says, the white women by black men need to be given up. Sisters, get it together. We need you. You know what? I'm glad that you said that because we do need to get it together. We honestly do. We need to get it together because we need each other, point blank. There is no because. It's just because we need each other in order to finish building our nation that has been stagnant since, a couple years after slavery. I mean, we was cool a little bit in the Jim Crow era besides occasional lynching here and there. But, I mean, we had stuff. We had our own stuff. And so we just need to get it together for each other. I will say that. And let's see. Hey, Dean, what's happening? And Secret Guardian says, Cyclops Eye answers the door. Knock, knock, knock. Yeah. I just would have been like, I can't help you. Sorry, maybe homeboy down the way might need you, but you can't come in here. I mean, you got to treat them like a vampire. You know what I mean? What happens when you let a vampire in?
Once the rules of the vampires, once you
let them cross the threshold, you invite them.
Once you welcome them in, they can come in at any time.
They suck your blood.
Yeah, come in at any time.
I mean, I'm just saying, you use the vampire rule, brothers. What you want? What's your angle here? No, you can't come over the threshold. I don't need nothing you got. Thank you. Slam the door. Keep on pushing. And Al says, can you believe my mom said tell Demetrius to turn the volume vocals down just a bit? Tell Mama I'm sorry. I do have a big, loud mouth. I speak very loudly, so please forgive me, you guys. If I'm too loud, please turn down your volume. I do it to help pick up the sound on the mics and the camera. So I do apologize if I'm blowing eardrums up. I could probably talk without the mic because I have such a big mouth. As Al sometimes reminds me.
It's too much information there.
Not like
oh, sorry.
Cindy says it was in February, not bi-week. Okay, so this.
Or the first assault.
So the first assault, or the assault that we're talking about now, Cindy. And so Samuel says our athletes got to find a better cause, bigger to live for than themselves. If they did, I feel they wouldn't make stupid decisions and begin to use their platform to lead their people. Otherwise, the system will use them. And that's kind of why I brought up a Deontae Wilder, because he is using. I mean, from what I see, to Latie's point, I don't know all there is to know about Mr. Wilder, but at least the part we did see, he did decide to use his platform to highlight the oppression of his people. Because we know a lot of athletes get the money and run. They get the money and run and don't talk about. They talk about black people during Black History Month,
You don't hear a word from Michael Jordan.
Yeah, well, I saw somewhere not too long ago where he gave a bunch of Jordans out to a school. So I guess maybe he's starting to come around. I don't know. I'm gonna kill you, Al. But because I just saw his comment. But yeah. And then so Charlie says, beautifully said, D, we need each other. Yeah, we need each other.
We do.
Yeah, I agree. We as black women do have issues, but we all have issues. I mean, I don't think black women have more issues than white women. Unfortunately, black women just get, we get the short end of the stick when it comes to black women ain't being this, that, and the other. But hell, I mean, trust me, I've spoken to a lot of brothers who would disagree. They will probably say I have issues with black women, but goddamn it, I had issues with white women too. I know one personally that's a year older than me. No shade to nobody. Because I know she doesn't watch. But anyway, let's see. And then Sidney says his friends probably has something to do with it as well. Well, I mean, but how many times have we heard of the athletes? Michael Vick. His cousins and his friends had a dog fighting ring of pit bulls in his house, and then the dude goes to do a 2-3 year stint for something he wasn't even there for, although it was at his house. And so, yeah, you got to watch your friends. Have friends like LeBron James, who seems like they are very business oriented, and they're on the mission of making LeBron's brand great.
Yeah, well, I was telling this to a friend of mine earlier this week, as a matter of fact. And a lot of people don't realize this. Your family will bring you down quicker than somebody outside of your family. And they don't mean to do it, but I'm just saying, it's like if you got somebody, let's say you're renting to your cousin.
Right.
They might pay the rent the first 3-4 times, and then they figure,
figure you're gonna get this eviction notice is what's going on.
No, and they don't mean to do it, but you really got to be careful of, and that's what happened to Michael Vick's situation. He was with his cousins. They thought, no big deal. He's not here. We're
and every time you see the man, and people tie him into being a dog murderer.
Right.
I mean, he might as well, not saying he should have, but he might as well just beat a woman. He would be beyond the glory,
Exactly.
And Cindy says the TM video assault. So that was in February. So that wasn't recent. Wow, I wonder why it's coming out now. Hey, Gloria, he says, to me it seems black men refuse to learn from the last fallen black man. I mean, God, it's like, what is it going to take? We ain't talking about losing no job at no Piggly Wiggly or Walmart. No shade to anybody working there, because a job is a job. We talking about a job that is a game changer. Sounds like he lost $30 million, if I'm not mistaken. So we're talking about to the tune of $30 million over some uncontrollable, or I guess it was controllable, but you chose not to control yourself, and so now you're in the unemployment line. That's baffling to me. But yeah, I mean, like, why not learn? That's what wisdom is, learning from other people's mistakes. And don't forget to hit the link, you guys, if you see it.
Can I say this, especially for the young men out there, and and you talk about this all the time. There's pee out there everywhere. So what's the rush between, you can get it anywhere. I mean, it's there.
Well, I mean, you men always say it. I mean, I've heard my dad say it plenty of times that men tend to think with the little head instead of the big head. Right. I think if you don't have any self-control, no amount of money is going to buy that for you. You have to do that yourself. I mean, that's, if money equals self-control, I mean, seems like we would never hear about these things, but we do. And so, let's see. And then Cindy says, actually, he is doing a lot now, Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing lately. And Gloria also said, many black athletes think when they get money, they get white, and they think they got white rights. Absolutely. But you know what, Gloria? They make them real clear that they really don't, right? I mean, you can't, I don't care what the circumstances is, you're just not going to be on video beating up no white girls and get away with it. Not here, you ain't. You know, and so nothing reminds them more that they're a black man. And what does Kanye saying? All fall down, or one of those songs. You're still a nigga in the coop. No matter what kind of car you're driving. You know, and Jay-Z told us very eloquently during his last album release, still nigga. No matter how much money you making. I mean, how many athletes have we actually seen get pulled over and roughed up by the cops? I mean, you still a black man to them. And so Cindy says, good shade, D. And Al said, Al Jack's joke of the day, the black funeral home was going broke, so they made some unpopular decisions. The first was to discontinue the senior citizen discount. You know what? There's something really wrong with you. And Cindy says, and the sad thing, he did not have a guaranteed contract. Why? See, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be going through your head when you peep out as Secret Garden says, you peep out the Cyclops, your little eye. That's the kind of stuff that goes through your head. Okay, my contract ain't guaranteed. These girls ain't getting in. I mean, I'm just saying. They not getting over here, vampire. And Charles says, F. Michael Jordan, nothing but love to LeBron James and his truth to the community, even after all that manufactured hatred for going to play for Miami. Okay, well, you said it. I mean, a lot of people are not huge fans of Michael Jordan because it is said that he has pilfered. I don't know how true the word pilfered is, but pilfered the black community of money to the tune of, I guess, billions by now, or millions, I would say, by way of his shoes, and not really giving enough of that back. But it sounds like maybe he is now. I don't know, but I think a lot of people share your sentiment. And Al says, why should the woke quote-unquote people care that Hunt lost his job, his football contract, since he wasn't in solidarity with Cap? Oh, really? Well, see, I don't know anything about these people. But, I mean, see, because if he was in, well, I don't think Kaepernick would have, co-signed or defended that kind of behavior. But it's like, gosh, Lee, at some point in time, brother, you got to realize that you are a brother. And they don't love you no more than they love old dude up the street who was a trash, man, or whatever the case is. They just love you right now because you're potentially, as you said, Al, they could have won the Super Bowl or whatever the case is. They don't love you past that. I mean, we've seen that. The NFL being 70% black, 100% white owned, and they treat these players like slaves. And so I guess it's all good until they get fired. I guarantee you now, especially with a name like Kareem, like really, I guarantee you now he's going to start to see the light, even though it sounds like he caused his own demise. And then Charles, they say it's called refrain. Stay away from anything that might seem too easy or that new. Yeah, I mean, I like how. I know you the Duke of Edgemont and everything, but who could somebody you don't know, a strange woman, come up to your door and say, "Let me in, Big Daddy"?
In this neighborhood, hell no. I thought you was going to say it. It's been a long time, yes. No. Hell no. In this neighborhood.
You know how long it's been? Hell yeah. I'm going to let somebody.
I mean, you got chicks walking the track up a couple blocks up, and no, it's
Okay.
You could catch something over here.
You like, my neighbors ain't anybody out there. Come on in, girl. Come on in. And then Sam used to say, if you a fool with the money, then you are a bigger fool. If you're a fool without the money, then you're a bigger fool with money. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, right?
We're not taught finances.
Right. And then Gloria says, I myself find it sad that many black men have fallen so far. The black woman is doing the most in leadership when it should be both. I love the brothers, but they looking bad through. They're looking bad through the black female eye. So basically, what she's saying is,
I agree.
From our viewpoint, y'all not doing a good job in regards to, because I've seen this argument a lot in regards to being the leader, stepping up and leading us. We're starting to see a lot of black women. Like we hear, I don't subscribe to the whole Black Lives Matter organization. I get what they're trying to do. I know, I do get what they're trying to do. And I think it's an admirable effort. However, it's led by predominantly women. And I think the one guy on there, he's, a gay, no shade to gay people, but it's led by women, and most of them are gay and feminists, and so we also hear a lot of backlash. Well, oh, you know, the Black Lives Matter leaders, they're gay and they're feminists, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, if we had more men step up, not saying that they're not men who don't, but if we had more men to step up, the Black Lives Matter movement, which I haven't heard a lot about lately, they wouldn't be such an influence, because we know that the Black Lives Matter movement takes a lot of money from white supremacy. Yeah, they might be in the face of Democrats, but it's still white supremacy no matter what, because anytime a white entity gives a black organization money, they want to rule the narrative. In that, the NAACP, I keep saying this, but no shade to the NAACP. I think their efforts were valid rather.
In the 60s.
In the
50s.
60s and stuff. And even today, I'm not saying they don't do stuff in regards to black people, but...
What do they do for black people today?
Well, I know just like on the local level, they go and do advocacy work. Wow. Okay. For, you know, certain people and things like that. But we also know that that organization was started by white people. And so a lot of those white people were big in the eugenics program. And then those of you guys who don't know what the eugenics program is, it was originally called the Negro Project, in that they wanted to exterminate and eliminate, same thing, black people from America, because after slavery, we were now a deficit, or a negative, if you will. During slavery, we know that we were an asset because we picked cotton and made white people rich. And so after slavery was abolished, it's like, well, we don't have any need for these Negroes.
Now. Yeah, they ain't going to work for free.
They're a burden on society, because now we got to try to, like, do something for them. And then during that time, too, during the eugenics program, you got to remember, black people were starting to wake up in that we were having, because we were segregated. We had our own communities and stuff.
So they're building our own communities.
Yeah, so let's just get rid of them. So the point that I'm trying to make to tie it all back is that if we had more men step up like your Marcus Garveys did back in the day, then I know black people would be better off. But until black men start doing that, we got to stop downgrading and talking bad about black women who are trying.
Right. Now, I agree with you. You need more black men to step up. But how many black men out there that are listening to this show have got a mother that tells them to stand down? Don't do this. Don't go out there. Remember that video, that kid that was out there protesting, and the mother snatched him up?
Yep.
And embarrassed him on national TV,
yeah,
rather
she made
than
all
saying,
the rounds
right,
on TV and
you know
stuff.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're dealing with a couple of generations now.
But okay, but so this is me and Donovan's point of contention right here. Okay, so I get it. We do have a lot of black moms nowadays who won't let men, I guess you would say, be men, but where they daddies at? Because if they had a good black man, a good black daddy, good black husband in the household, that woman would be like, darling, whatever you say.
Right.
She will follow his lead in regards to how to rear the children.
Right, but again, you've got these mothers out here who don't want to expose their kids to positive black men. A good example right now. My mom is probably listening to this show right now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of stuff that I say on the show or I do on the show, she does not like. But she realizes that I'm my own man. I'm a positive man. And it might take a little different than hers.
Right.
She accepts that.
But you're fortunate enough to have a mom that knows that, you know, freedom ain't free. Right. And so she doesn't, and while she's scared for you in some respects, she also understands that somebody's got to do it. It might as well be my son. But at the same time, because we hear this a lot, black women are this, black women are doing this with the kids. But I'm like, okay, even if that black woman is not with that black child's black father, that's no excuse for the black father to be gone from his child's life. Regardless, I don't care what it was. I mean, I know there's a lot of women out there that could be a lot to deal with, but no woman under the sun should make you stay away from your child.
Okay, but even if that father's locked up or whatever his situation is, and I say this all the time, and you know I try to be as fair as possible.
I'm gonna get to y'all guys' comments.
You've got a brother, you've got an uncle, you've got somebody in your family or that man's family that you can send that boy to learn. Now, if Uncle Ray is in the streets, of course don't send him over there. But but Uncle Pookie, who's going to college,
right?
Give him that exposure.
Right. Well, I mean, like we said before, we in this together. Right. Ain't nobody is shouldering the blame more than the other. Okay. And so Cindy says, wondering if he will pick up in 2020. Who is he? And then Charles says, Hunt is. Oh, you mean Hunt get picked up in 2020? Yeah. Is that what you're saying? He said Hunt is 22 or 23. Cap is older and have a great sense of self and his people. And Kaepernick is biracial. Yes, he is biracial. Or actually raised by white people. You know, and Cindy says, so the Athletic reported his boys brought them to the room. Okay, so you're saying it was reported that his boys brought them to the room. he was having a party. He asked for an ID, and that's when he kicked them out. So that's the story that I read that didn't get reported on, I guess, on TMZ initially.
But they still dropped him off his contract.
Right. Well, you know, because he put a foot to their ass.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, but he did it because he called them, from what they said, it was calling them all types of niggas.
That's still no excuse.
No, I agree. And Al says, did Aretha Franklin have a song called Chain of Fools? Yes, she did.
Absolutely.
And Sydney says, my issue with Black Lives Matter is so many fake websites, fake social media pages. It's hard to find the real websites. Yeah. Right.
Because everybody's decided to get their hustle on.
Where's the cash at? With black people. The cash is with black people. All we got to do is throw a fist up. That's why, like, I see a lot of T-shirts, because I like black T-shirts with that black sayings, but I always try to research who's selling it, because I know most of the time it ain't us selling the shirt, so I'm not giving y'all no money to sell nothing to tell me about me.
Well, I can tell you this, the Jodi Arias shirts that says that she's a survivor, I bought a couple of those.
Yeah, I bet you did. Hey, Nancy says, when it comes to the black issue, gay or straight, it should not matter. At least they are willing to step up and fight for the good fight. No, I absolutely agree, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm homophobic, but the point that I'm making is we have a lot of black men who take issues with a movement like the Black Lives Matter, and I have my issues with them too. Being that they're gay is not one of them. I have more of a problem with them being a feminist than I do with them being gay. And so, no, I don't think that whether you're black, or I mean whether you're homosexual or not, has anything to do with you loving black people. I mean, you are who you are. Just like I am who I am. I always tell people I don't get wrapped up into the whole homosexuality thing, because I can only talk about my relationship.
Yeah, I have a lot of people that I know that are gay, and it doesn't affect what you do in your private time. That's on you. I just don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear about it.
I mean, I love them to death. I got cousins, all kind of people who are, you know, of a homosexual nature. Right. I mean,
now, do I condone the lifestyle? No, I don't. But
to me, I feel like it's not for me to condone. Like you probably don't condone what I do.
Yeah, no, I'm saying condone it like would I do it? No.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not. So.
All right. Okay. And then so Charles says, oh yeah. Don't tone your volume down one bit, D. Respect the mother, but your voice and its volume is a gift. Oh, well, thank you so much. And Charles says, and black women need to give up on the feminist movement. They are using black women, but not joining the black women's causes. You better say that again for the people in the back. And Cindy says, and Donovan Sadiq, what happened to the black teen that was snatched up by his mom in Baltimore? Yeah,
I think that's the one we're talking about.
Didn't he get in trouble or something like that? Hey, Shay. Says, good evening from Atlanta. Good evening from Southern California.
ATL.
And Nancy says, I think that our people are so confused. I think that our people are so confused that they actually think we're doing our part, and they were actually doing enough, despite the fact that we never win in courts or in government. Black people need to learn from the past how to be successful in the present when it comes to our rights. So absolutely. Well, me and Donovan are big advocates about this. Donovan and I, excuse me, Negro. Okay? We are huge advocates of us going to jury duty.
Yes.
Because what does it say in regards to the jury? A jury of your peers. Now, if you show up to a courthouse and you are looking in the jury box and there's nothing but white people there and you're black, what you think gonna happen? More than likely, you're gonna get the short end of the stick. And so when we say, because I agree with you, we need to be more proactive when it comes to our rights, but it starts there. Now, we know most of the time, you know, the judge, the judicial part of it is stacked against us. Well, hell, if we show up to jury duty, that'll at least be a little bit in our favor.
It worked for OJ.
Right. It worked for OJ, and it's worked for a lot of people who have black juries, but we can no longer complain about not getting a fair trial if we don't show up to jury duty.
And also to vote for that district judge.
Vote for that judge, because a lot of times those judges are, you know, they have a track record of sentencing black people harshly than anybody else, just because. I mean, we don't show up to city council meetings. We don't show up to jury duty. We're just uninvolved. The perfect example of that is Ferguson, Missouri, in that when Mike Brown was murdered by the police, it was discovered that, 90% African Americans in Ferguson, but all the city council and all the higher up positions were white. And when people got wind of that, they flipped it around. They got a black mayor. They got, I think, predominantly or half city council. They got a black police chief. So they turned things around because it was operating like a plantation.
And real quick, what do you think happens to that DA judge that ran for the DA 2 or 3 times on, what's their main slogan?
Tough on crime.
He's tough on crime. He runs to be a judge is his next level if he doesn't run for state attorney general or something like that.
Right.
They do that. Also, you got to remember that when you're, Minister Farrakhan says this all the time, You don't want to deal with the court system? Stop putting yourself in the court system and obey the laws.
Well, yeah, most definitely don't put yourself in the court system, but we know that there are times where black people
it's beyond our control.
Are right. We get snatched into the court system, and especially, you know, where a sentence unfairly due to some of these judges, you know, they'll give, you know, Jacob a house arrest for rape.
Rape, and the same thing happened with the black guy.
But give, you know, Jerome 8 years for a bag of weed, you know, and so, I mean, we just got, I agree with you, Nancy, we got to show up.
We got to show up.
And then, Allie says I think that was Nancy who said that. Yeah, Nancy. And then Al says, the black couple I was sitting next to at the game, I heard one of the sisters say she brought and read the entire Michelle Obama book, and not once did she mention anything about speaking energy and positivity into black people. So she said that's what she read. But, well, I mean, come on now. No, listen, I'm not trying to offend anybody who is a fan of the Obamas. I like the Obamas, too. But when you know, as Oprah, their best friend, would say, when you know better, you do better. But I think now it has been really revealed that the Obamas were never really, even though they were black, they were never pro-black in that they advocated for black people unapologetically. I mean, it's not surprising to me that Michelle Obama wrote a book, and look what they're trying to do to her. I see pictures of them putting her books by the bathroom, in the back. They're giving Trump the sale from her books to Trump. I mean, so they're doing a lot of heinous things to her too. But it's like, how ironic. You won't even talk about black people.
But see, here's the, you guys. People got to keep remembering the Obamas were not put into office to do with anything with black people. They were put there to stop the Occupy Wall Street movement that was making people jump all over the place.
Well, yeah, we know that, but black people didn't know that. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I voted for the man because he was black. I ain't gonna lie to kick it.
And the Democrats knew that.
Right. And they knew that because predominantly black people vote Democratically, about 85%.
And Bush was on his way out. The Obamas were put there specifically to guard and work for Wall Street establishment.
Right.
Period.
And Nancy says, honestly, I think the Black Lives Matter movement has fallen. It is more of another black organization that many will soon forgot exists. They had a good chance to do something during the Obama era. Now that they are in the Trump era, they are not even a part of the conversation anymore. Yeah, I mean, and not only that, you guys, please remember to click the link if you want to comment. But not only that, Black Lives Matter movement was tarnished a lot by white supremacy. Go figure, right? Talk about, there's a black militant group. They're violent. Yes. To my knowledge, Black Lives Matter haven't killed anybody. In fact, a lot of their leaders have been murdered. And so they framed them in the narrative the same way they tried to do, well, not tried to do, but they did to the Black Panther movement in the 60s, and that this is a militant terrorist, homegrown terrorist group. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. And so, but again, as we said, we know that Black Lives Matter got $30 million from George Soros, who is a big-time Democrat, what do you call it? Booster, supporter. He was huge in supporting Hillary Clinton. We know what Hillary Clinton did to black people.
Especially in Haiti.
Yeah, in Haiti and Libya. I mean, and so, to me, you just got to kind of follow the breadcrumbs. Like, okay, all right, I see what's going on here. Connect the dots.
Yeah, and here's the fact about Hillary. A lot of people don't realize when she was Secretary of State, she sold more arms to other countries than any Secretary of State up until that time.
Right. Well, we're with her. You with her?
No.
No?
Definitely.
You sure?
I'm positive.
What about if she runs in 2020? You're not going to be with Hillary?
Hell no.
How dare you? You're black, ain't you?
I'm going for Cory Booker. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And Cindy says, no, that brother is a successful young black man. So he is a successful young black man now.
Okay, good.
Okay,
good.
Well, that's good to hear. But I read, too, that his mother ended up with some financial difficulties and stuff. She was actually lamenting about the fact that she had went on all these television shows and things like that, and people like, you go, girl, you all this other stuff. And then when it came time for her to, be in need, she ended up getting evicted, and just a whole host of things that happened to her. So she was like, okay, well, where are all these people now? So I just thought that was kind of like, well,
examples.
Okay,
I have no words.
I don't have a problem with the lady getting her son from danger because he was a minor, but I do have a problem with her. See, because I don't know if I would have went on all these television shows saying, yes, I did, girl.
Right, well, no, what I'm saying is we have to, like what you say all the time, nobody's going to save us. Why are you waiting for this big payday. It's not going to happen. You're dealing with people who have shown you time and time
well,
and time
I mean,
again.
the mom was just a media story.
That's
she
what-
was
that's what-
the topic of the week.
Right.
Hey, let's get her on. You think she'll come
Mhm.
on? Oh yeah, I'll come on
Right.
in, and I'll tell you how I.
This is how you black women should be holding down these young black men. That's exactly
Well,
what she did.
True, but I think she should. Somewhere in that conversation, somebody should have said, "Well, you know, this is how the black family needs to." Because let's just say it this way too. I get, yeah, she thought she was saving his life, which sounds like he's doing good now. But what about in the '60s?
All those young men that got
All
killed
the
and
young
missing.
men that were out there, you know, stomping for civil rights and things like that. Although I tend to agree with Malcolm X in that he said, you know, Martin Luther King had black women and children out there getting water hoses and dogs and stuff. And to, I think it was Nancy or was it Gloria, made the point that, you know, black men need to step up. Why y'all got these women and kids out here doing a job y'all need to do?
Because most of us were in jail during the Birmingham stuff like that. They were doing that.
Okay. And then, okay, so we got about, I'll get to it. And so, let's see, because that's going to be last. Let's see. Al says, at the Texas game this past week, they had a video tribute to Bob McNair. They mentioned he was a faithful Christian. You can be a Christian and still be a racist.
Of course, absolutely.
You see Trump, don't you?
No, he's not a Christian. He's a
what is
devil.
it?
He's a devil.
I know, but I'm saying
Yeah,
him and his homies profess to be Christian with the Family Values Party, and these were the big time highfalutin Christians. But yeah,
I'm paying for prostitutes.
So
and
we
I'm
dabble in
doing,
a little racism.
Racism, prostitution,
Which some people
crimes.
would say is synonymous in America. Christianity and racism.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And Nancy says, it really comes down to unity, and still there is more than a few thousand dedicated black people doing the work on our behalf with little or no support from the Mahindi quiet millions. I think he said from the many quiet millions of black people, period. We will only gather crumbs of success instead of achieving real success that changes something permanently. Yeah, I mean.
Yes, thank you, Nancy, for acknowledging what me and Dee try to do here.
Oh, stop.
I mean, that's what we do.
No, but yeah, I mean, we need each other. That's the end of the day, you know. And I would say this to black men, and I guess I say this to black women too, but I guess I'm just speaking from a black woman. You gonna stab me?
You're right.
From a black woman's point of view, stop buying the narrative that black women ain't shit. I mean, I know we need to stop doing it too, but you know,
women, stop dancing to a disrespectful music.
Well, not only that,
Jeez.
but you know, the narrative. Oh well, I need to go. Black men, go be with another race of woman because she gonna treat you better.
No,
black
that's not
women
true.
don't do this, and but the other races of women gonna do that. No, that's bull. That's bull. Woman gonna, you know, a woman is gonna respond to you probably how you respond to her.
Now, caveat, depending on her basic background and how she was raised makes a significant difference. So if you're a brother that was raised in the suburbs and you get a girl that's like from the streets, her value system is going to be significantly different and your expectation. So
I mean, just because she's from the street.
no, I didn't. No, that ain't what I'm saying. That she's a bad person.
I don't
Yeah,
want you to have highlighter all over yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that that, but I'm just saying that's going to be a significant problem.
It's just called a courting process. Make sure you're compatible.
Right.
You know. Hey, Dennis, what's happening? And Ali says, "Hey, Donovan. After today's loss, the Packers fired their head coach Mike."
What?
Listen, goddamn, we ain't talking about no football up in here,
sorry,
okay?
Sorry.
We ain't talking about no football. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so Sydney says no to Booker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that guy thinks he's gonna be the next Obama, but that ain't gonna happen.
Right. And so Deanna says Donovan knows damn well he is the main one who watches these women dancing to the disrespectful music.
I'm doing that for research purposes only, so that when I come on the show, I am knowledgeable about what is going on. You know, the drop it like it hot thing or whatever that thing is. You know, I'm trying to figure it out.
Are you writing a book?
No, I'm just, making sure that that when I talk about these things, that I know what I'm talking about. It's called strategic research.
Sounds legit.
No, you got me on that one, though. She did.
Oh, hell. I mean, and Deanna also said, you're saying a lot of problematic stuff for me, Donovan. Deanna will be back next year this month.
Deanna, the bottom line is it's a social construct.
That's Deanna's word, a social construct.
Everything's a social construct.
Being my daughter. But yeah, I mean, at some point in time, we have to just, we have to realize that we need each other. I should have put my phone on vibrate. I apologize to you guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me do that really quick.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so I want to get into my last portion of the show. We got about 15 minutes. And so I'll go ahead and get started. And I'll continue to go. Thank you. The wrong notes.
Wrong note.
I'll continue to get you guys' comments. And let's see. Sydney says, Donovan, you like LeBron in purple, in the purple and gold.
Oh, man. I don't know if that's good or bad.
All right, so I want to close my commentary with this, and I want you guys to comment if you feel led to do so. All right, and so Cindy says, and where is Amanda? I don't know. She might be watching. Sometimes she just kind of incognito. And then Deanna says, don't make me get Black Twitter to cancel you. Damn. And Al says, I just tell my friends to plan next year's New Orleans trip -1. Okay. All right, so last Friday I had the privilege to attend a play by Misty Monroe Clark called Unapologetically Black.
I went to.
Yeah, oh yes, that's right. Donovan was there, and you know what? I want to just give you you did so well.
I did.
Because Donovan don't usually do well in events sort of like that, but this man, you're a trooper.
Yes.
Okay?
Hour late.
So me and Donovan and my little niece, Fluffy, I'm taking her with me because I want her to learn a little bit more about being black. Well, a lot more about being black, actually. So last Friday, I had the privilege to attend a play by Misty Monroe Clark called Unapologetically Black. She talked about struggling to be her true black self because she grew up in 2 different environments, one in South Central Los Angeles and up north in San Francisco in a predominantly white neighborhood. All right. Now, while she was discovering the black side of life, she was told about an African-American abolitionist named Henry Highland Garnett. Now, specifically, Misty was told about a speech titled Call to Rebellion that he had given to slaves in 1834 to encourage them to rebel against their owners. Now, she recited a portion of that speech in her one-woman play that sent chills through my whole body.
Really?
Yes, I was like, ooh.
Wow, okay.
Right. You probably didn't see it because you was sitting under the heat lamp.
I was sitting under the heat lamp.
Right.
Watching that lady's hair fry.
You stupid. So she read the following. So bear with me. Now, of course, I will not ever read it as beautifully as she did. She read it with so much emotion and just, gosh.
Yeah. Very powerful.
It was very powerful because she also competes in speech and debate. So this was one of the speeches that she read, and she said it off the top of her head. Now, the speech is actually really long, but this is the part that she read. And it goes like this. It is in your power so to torment the God-cursed slaveholders that they will be glad to let you go free. If the scale was turned and black men were the masters and the white men the slaves, every destructive agent and element would be employed to lay down the oppressor. Danger and death would hang over their heads day and night. Yes, the tyrants would be met with plagues more terrible than those of Pharaoh. But you are a patient people. You act as though you were made for the special use of these devils. You act as though your daughters were born to pamper the lust of your masters and overseers. Don't laugh at me.
No, I'm reading the comments. Go ahead.
Oh, and worse than that, tamely submit while your lords tear your wives from your embraces and defile them before your eyes. In the name of God, we ask, are you men? Where is the blood of your fathers? Has it all run from your veins? Awake, awake. Amen. Millions of voices are calling you. Your dead fathers speak to you from their graves. Heaven, as a voice of thunder, calls you to arise from the dust. And again, this was Henry Highland Garnett, who was an abolitionist back in the 1834, who was talking to fellow slaves and saying, basically, what's wrong with you guys? Why are we not revolting against these people who do us harm? What's wrong with us? You know, because as he said in that little part that I read, as I said, it was very long, but the part that I read, he said, had the tables been turned, they would have did it to you. Like he says, why are you patient and waiting for somebody to free you? Why not free yourselves? And so that speech was rendered almost 200 years ago, and here we are with the same question. Mm-hmm. Why are we waiting for somebody else to free us instead of freeing ourselves? And like I said, when she spoke those words, I was just taken aback because I was like, golly, even in 2018, that passage is so apropos because we are still there. Now, we're not physically in slavery, but mentally, financially, and every other way we are enslaved, but yet we keep waiting for somebody, I don't know, at this point, Trump to write legislation to say that black people, you matter. We're waiting for something other than ourselves to free us. And so I impress upon everybody, his name was Henry Highland Garnett, and the speech was called The Call to Rebellion. Look it up and read it. Where he is, back then, I can say almost 200 years ago, impressing upon black people to cut your own damn shackles. What you waiting on? Now, admittedly, he was free. His family had escaped to the north, New York, when he was about 9 years old, but he got it. His parents didn't wait for the slave masters to cut them loose. They cut themselves loose, and obviously he was taught about being a free black man, and so he went and, preached it to the other slaves, like, yo, I did it, you can do it too. What are you waiting on? These people ain't gonna give you nothing. Why would they give you something, cut you loose, and you making them all this money? Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna pick their own cotton. They got you to do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so we know that there's been plenty of abolitionists, one being Nat Turner, who was like, I'm tired of waiting, and he did what he can do. But we just need to get to that point. Now, listen, I'm not saying we need to go kill people. Please, Lord, don't think that I'm saying that. But we need to free ourselves specifically by stop giving the oppressor all of our money.
Economically.
We need to stop there. And also we need to add into that, if not first, Benny, who was not on here, he's still in mourning, and so that's understandable. But he always makes it a point to say that we need to practice self-love and get knowledge of self, because without those things, we'll never understand. If we have $1.3 trillion in our hand, we'll never understand how to use it, because we don't love ourselves enough to say, I will never give all of my money to a people who dislike me again. It'll be a cold hard day. I mean, like last week I saw, I think it was a nail shop where the Asian gentleman finally went to jail because he had put his hands on yet another sister. They said that he had done it once before, but this time he got caught on video.
On video, that's the only reason.
But yet it's like it's a shop full of black women. And they're saying, oh, he got caught this time. Why do you have your black ass in these nail shops and then you professing out your mouth that this man did it once before? How dead do we have to be to keep giving these people our money?
Girl, I'm getting a fill for $4.
You fill your own nails for $4. Fill your own nails. I mean, listen, I got nubs, y'all, but I paint my own nubs. I just cannot consciously give these people my money knowing how they feel about black people. And yet, and this is to your point that you made earlier, so I will concede this point even though you was being silly, in that these black women who keep taking themselves into these nail shops are going to cost some brother who is trying to defend them his life, because he's going to go up there and try to confront these people and potentially get locked up or something because you won't stay your black ass out of these nail shops. So it's like at some point in time, we got to stop saying, well, black men are this, that, and the other to us, and then going and doing the total opposite. It was a time where a black woman, see, this is why I admonish black women. There was a time where black women actually listened to the black man. If the black man said, baby, stay home. Black man, stay out of them nail shops. Black woman, stay home and cook. Black woman, stay home and raise these kids. It was a time we did that instead of bucking the system. So you can't buck the system.
No, not bucking the system, bucking the man.
Bucking the man, well, that's the system I'm talking about. You can't buck the man and then complain that he don't want to do nothing for or with you. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry. But let's see. And then Nancy says, Al Jackson, I'm sad to say, represents a part of the problem because he still supports the plantation playing field. Football is a high-playing plantation full of slaves why are you laughing, Donovan? Who are told to be quiet and play football, period. How can we be taken seriously when we keep supporting the enemy?
Well, here's the thing, Nancy. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but I'm a rabid Dallas Cowboy fan. And I could either do that, or I could go get on drugs like some people. They have their vices. I'm just saying, some people, if that's what they're going to do.
So it's like either drugs or football?
No. But what I'm saying is, if that's his pleasure, his guilty pleasure, he deserves that.
Okay, listen. I don't watch football. Admittedly, I wasn't a big football fan even before the Kaepernick thing. But again, as I was admonishing the black women about the nails, I cannot, in good consciousness, watch football knowing how they feel about black men. I can't do it.
Gotcha.
I don't care if my favorite team, I mean, as I always say, and I'm a huge Kaepernick supporter, even though I see a lot of black people trying to turn on him, I don't care. I support this brother because him of all people did not have to do what he did. He's gorgeous, rich, famous. He didn't have to do none of that stuff.
Nope.
He could have said, that's y'all niggas' problems. I'm up here living a good life. The police ain't ever going to do none of that stuff to me. It's a smaller chance that they will anyway. But he risked it all to bring awareness to the ills that black men go through in America through the police brutality and wholesale murder of black men and the unjust laws that we are subjected to. And so I cannot, in good conscience, sit in a football stadium or watch a game. That's just me. Now, I'm not shading nobody else who does, but that's my stance.
Right, exactly. Now, and I support Kaepernick too, even though he played for the wrong teams. He didn't play for the Dallas Cowboys. But 70% of the NFL is black men. Where were his compatriots in arms to support him? Because all they had to do was get a majority of those black guys to not play or do what he did. It would change the whole narrative.
It's easy to do. That's like I said, when we complain about, let's say, Walmart, for example. I mean, for those of you guys on the podcast, I will hear from you guys, or you guys will hear from me next week. So that's to me like consumers who complain about Walmart and how they do their employees. They got them working on Christmas and all this other stuff. You know what? Walmart couldn't do that to their employees if we would stay out of Walmart until they treat their employees right. And so if fans, black fans especially, of the NFL would say, you know what, I'm standing in solidarity with my black brother because me more than him, I'm more likely to get pulled over and get my head blown off by one of these trigger-happy police officers. So I'm going to stand in solidarity with him. So, yeah, we can blame the players, but the players ain't going to have a job if we don't watch.
But there isn't a league if the players say absolutely not.
Right, and also with all the money these players are making, they can go start their own league. Yeah, it'll be small at first, but damn, they got all the talent anyway.
Yeah, pretty much when they realize that all the sponsors are going to come over there.
But this is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad basically said that you can go to the cemetery and get more life out of the dead than you can black people. And so my mother always hated when I talk like that, although she knew I was right because she says that is negative. But hell, how dead do you have to be to justify and continue to give money to white supremacy that will never accept you? They have done this man Kaepernick so wrong. I mean, didn't they just rehire somebody else who's accused of domestic violence over Kaepernick? Yes. And yet we gonna go sit our happy black asses and give these people our money? Hell, you might as well go get a slave owner, some money after he just got to whooping your ass.
Right. Okay. Now let's take that same attitude and look at these women that are putting weeds on their hair and nails and all these little different things.
I agree. I don't know where the correlation is coming from. However, yes, we shouldn't be giving money to any system of oppression. Point blank, period. We should not be doing that. Okay? Now, listen, I'm bald, y'all, so I don't have a dog in the fight as far as what you do with your hair. If you want to wear weave, that's on you. If you're going to wear weave from and buy from a black distributor.
Shop. Exactly.
Just do that, but stop funding oppression and then getting mad about it. How dare you? Like you're complicit. You are just as guilty every time a police officer murders a black man in cold blood. You're guilty. You are guilty because you have a man who's trying to bring awareness to it, and you won't even stand in solidarity for one season or whatever to say, I'm with you because my brothers are out here getting murdered. You won't do it. You having a good ass time, and now listen, I'm not saying nothing to nobody specific because my man is a season ticket holder, okay? And I'm not saying nothing that he hasn't heard, okay? But you stand in solidarity with oppression or the oppressors when you don't restrain yourselves to help move the ball forward for black people. I said it.
Amen.
And so, let's see. And Al says, Amanda is at the Jags home game. That's my
right.
sister.
That's right. Make that money, baby.
My sister works at the Jaguar Stadium as a part-time job, but, you know, she watches football too.
And
so,
free game.
Yeah, I don't stand up here speaking as if I don't know people personally who are, and let's just keep it real, I'm aiding in the oppression of black people. I know people who are doing that, so I'm not going to lie to kick it to y'all. I just try, in every way, shape, or form that I can avoid it, I try to do that. And so Cindy says, wait, we have to give Donovan his card back.
Damn right, got my black card, yes!
Al said Medea wasn't in this play. No, Medea wasn't in this play.
But it was a very good play.
It was a very good play.
Even though it was late.
Yeah, it was late. It started about an hour late, but hell. Like you said, it was
staying.
Friday night.
Yeah. We ain't got nothing to do.
We usually in bed like by 7,
8.
6:30 for me, shit. And and Cindy says, what happened to Benny? His mother unfortunately passed away a couple weeks ago. And Nancy says, we don't have to kill anyone. We just have to simply keep our dollars in our pockets, period. Our dollar is more powerful than any gun we could ever shoot.
Amen,
period.
Nancy.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And then Cindy says, I want Cap on my team, New York Giants.
There you go. Yeah, hey, Eli's got to pack it in. I think he's pretty much done.
And Deanna says, did you just justify football by saying at least you are not on drugs? That's the government put out there. That was put out there by the government, by the way.
Right, but that's also
Deanna,
social.
You know what? Deanna ain't gonna let you off the hook. Okay?
Look, that's also a social construct. If that's my guilty pleasure, I would rather do that.
Well, I mean, she's kind of got you like we're
No,
drugs, watching football.
No, I'm just saying everybody's got a guilty pleasure. If you like cotton candy, if you like this, if that's their
I don't
one
necessarily
thing.
see watching football a guilty pleasure. It's like,
for some people,
okay,
it is.
because we always got to look at it this way. Freedom is not free. Freedom is going to cost us something, whether it's, like, I would rather it cost me not watching football than it to cost me some money, or like they did in Alabama when they had to walk miles and miles and miles to work because they weren't getting on the racist bus system and they're trying to shut down the government.
I can say, I did not watch 8 Cowboy games last season, and I haven't watched 4 this season.
Is that progress?
That is progress.
Okay, all right, brother. And Cindy says, your team is racist as well, Donovan.
You doggone right. Jerry Jones, you Negroes dare not stand, your asses are fired.
You know
damn
what?
right.
Yeah, I mean, so to Al's point about, what's his name, the owner of the Texas that just died. I mean, hell, he said, we can't let the team be the inmates run the
asylum.
What the hell? You just ain't even gonna hide it, huh?
Exactly. I mean, Jerry Jones is right lockstep in Trump with Bush and Trump. He's like, hey, whatever goes, goes. Shit.
Marcus says he agrees with Deanna. Deanna says, I've misplaced my raccoon picture at the moment.
It's a social construct.
Then it says, sad, but the NFL is set up like slavery. It's exactly what it is. But yet, we keep justifying watching the games. I know it's hard. I mean, let me see. What would it be hard for me not to do? Like, I like to exercise. It would be hard, like if somebody said your favorite exercise is funded by racism, it would be hard for me not to go, but damn it, I find somewhere else to exercise.
Did you see me with that meme I put on your thing when you're up the mountain? You get your little thing up.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
That's not insane. And Nancy says, I personally feel sorry for Kaepernick because not only did we not give him the real support he needed, we had the audacity to judge how he supported us, period. He gave up his career to, he gave up his career to support a large number of people that did not support him, period. There is over 50+ million black people in America, and 50+ million should have showed up for Kaepernick as well as many others. Absolutely, and we can also make that argument as far as showing up to the polls for people who are going to help us. And so you're right. There's no reason why this man, I mean, it's just like, we did him dirty. I know he's got money and he's, doing all right for himself, but and we did this man dirty.
All it took was for everybody else to take a knee. That's all it took. And he couldn't even get that.
And Al says, why don't the black men just stop helping the suburban sisters in those nail shops and just let them learn on their own? By the way, I will continue to go to the games, and that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop me, any black fan or black players from caring. In that case, we should stop eating breakfast, drinking coffee, going to beauty shops, smoking cigarettes, etc. We can do other things as well as support causes. Well, I will concede your latter point in that you're right. So if we're gonna take people to task for going to the NFL games,
Deanna.
Wait, no, my daughter don't go to NFL.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Tell her, Al.
But we also need to take to task people who are still eating in Waffle Houses.
Exactly. Who
are still drinking Starbucks and all that other stuff that participates in the oppression of black people. We need to, but you know, we won't do it. So I agree with you. And that we're not just gonna take NFL people to task, but you keep bringing it up. So,
yeah, but let me say this also. There's very many ways to fight a battle. You can be on the outside and fight, and you won't get too far as you see what's going on, as the owners are like, screw that, you know, the money, whatever. Or you could be on the inside. And I was always taught you can't change nothing looking on the outside. You got to get on the inside.
Right, but that don't mean spend your ass at home
watching
videos.
No, not at all.
I like how you tried to spin that.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is everybody has a way.
Couch.
Yeah, everybody has a way of fighting a battle. Some people are on the inside, some people are on the outside.
I totally agree with you. No argument here. Nancy, you say the sad thing is you can simply enjoy the game. You can simply enjoy the game without purchasing the products, and we still gain victory and change. But oh my God, that sounds like something easy to do. What is scary for us? Yeah, I mean, I agree. If you're gonna watch it, that's one thing. But like you said, to continue funneling money into the system, man, we making these white, I almost call them slave owners, but it's kind of like what it is. NFL team owners richer and richer, and they don't what's gonna make them change their opinion.
Well, here's the funny thing too. When you're at a football game, and let's say I'm a black and I go to the football game, right? They have security in there and police officers there. Philadelphia stadium is so bad they've got a court system in the stadium.
Well, damn.
So if you got these oppressors that are in there and you're acting up in their stadium, you've helped fund these cops beating in your head. Right, beating in your head. Yeah.
And Cindy says, Al dropped those tickets too. And Nancy says, I'm sorry to say, Donovan, you can't be so powerful on one end and be so weak on the other end. Mm-hmm. Period. Honestly, that makes your opinion and conversation useless to the struggle. Period. Mm-hmm. No disrespect intended.
No, I see what she's saying.
And
but
Deanna's got his frog with a teacup.
Yeah. No, I understand what Nancy's saying. But at the same time, you could be on the outside of a fortress with 1 million people banging on the wall. If the wall is reinforced with titanium and steel, you're still not getting in. So you got to find the weak point.
But you ain't gonna spend no money to try to get in, though, right?
No, you shouldn't.
Right. And so Nancy says, Al, lead by example, and maybe many will follow if you're serious. Wow.
I'm gonna start a Facebook page, 1 Million Black Men Against Deanna Moses.
And Al said, this year's Super Bowl is in ATL, 90% black population. In just that 1 week, all those black businesses and people will make a ton of money. Well, no, I mean, I agree with that. But again, at some point in time, we got to realize that freedom is not free. And so that's kind of how we justify oppression and racism. Well, in 1 weekend, black people are going to make a lot of money. Well, how about we black people make money all year round if we just start taking care of ourselves? Because again, that's a sordid way of saying, well, because Massa's coming in with the Super Bowl, that's going to help black people. Well, why can't black people continuously help black people all year long? Why do we need to wait for Massa to come in and say, all right, nigga, we setting up shop for a week, and this is your opportunity, because you know what, we ain't going to do nothing to get that money right back.
Right.
But I get it, though. And so Nancy says, well, Donovan, Abdul Wallace in Forest with titanium and steel. Mm-hmm. Where you could be helping make a dent, you still at home on the couch watching the Cowboys, you might just be the last bit of muscle that penetrates the wall.
True.
So she's saying that you getting off the couch and helping everybody else might...
True, but I've been doing that, so...
Yeah, you know, I want to say one thing about Donovan. Mm-hmm. Donovan plays around a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've been doing it.
He does watch football, but you know, Donovan is out there with boots on the ground. So.
Matter of fact, when we do this show, there's a game on CBS every time you come over here, and I turn it off. The Raiders were playing. That's why they turn it off. I turn it off, and I take care of my business.
Right, and so Deanna says, wouldn't that? He said, wouldn't be the first club. She says she's outlasted them all.
Okay, all right.
And then Al said, at the games, the majority of the vendors and concession workers are black, and I always tip no matter what I purchase. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but those are part-time jobs.
They're part-time jobs, and this job is a job. But again, think about the Alabama bus boycott back in the day. Mm-hmm. That cost a lot of people money too. A lot of people's feet was hurting because they had to walk to work, and you know, because the bus system was convenient. So I'm not saying that there's not going to be some. It's going to cost all all black people some sort of sacrifice in order to move the ball forward. But we can't just keep justifying, well, this is happening, because that's that big in this big of an issue, to be honest with you. And so Nancy says, laugh out loud, don't even tell the NFL to F itself with a long stick period. We need you to find a way to kick Jerry Jones and his effing nuts.
Well, I've been saying for over 15 years, we need new ownership in the Cowboys because this guy's not drafted. We haven't won a championship in 22, 23 years.
Well, I don't know what else to say about that. But anyway, you guys, I don't see any more comments. And so I know that I've been on for quite a long time. And I appreciate every last one of you. I'm
going to call Deanna's dad right now when we get off this show. That'll fix her. Let her dad deal with it.
Yeah, good luck. Because he got to get through me. I'm just playing. So anyway, hey, Conscious Thought. He says, we need to stick to supporting ourselves. Leave the football game alone, bro. We have to stand for something. In a good fight, it's always going to be sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Yes. Always. Like, when that's the problem. Ooh, I don't want it to hurt. Ooh, I don't want it to cost me nothing. Oh, what's it going to cost me? Oh, then where I shoot. Because the way I look at that is, you know, people looking outside at the curtains, out the confines of their home. Well, I'll let them go deal with getting justice for black people, but I'm going to sit right here and I ain't going to do nothing.
Right. Now, let me say
something. Hey, Sonia.
Let me say something in reply to that real quick. As you know, as I know, I am known as the IE Informer.
Yes.
I do a lot, but just because you don't hear me talk about it or a person talks about it doesn't mean that they're not doing a lot. So I'm going to leave it at that.
And I agree, and I think it's not a known fact to any of us on here. Hey, Marshall, that the revolution will not be televised, and nor should it in the respect that we shouldn't talk about everything that we're doing out in the open. So I agree. Some things you got, like some people say you got to move in silence. I think the youth have taken that over to mean something else, but
right.
We got to move in silence, you know?
Sure.
And so let's see here. I'll address these comments. And Al says, okay, since all America does black people wrong, no matter where we go, to the games, coffee house, nail shops, etc. F it, move out of the country. Well, there you go. That's a concept. But you know what? When we talk about moving out the country, well, see, I can't really leave right now. I can't leave because, you know, well, America ain't really been that bad to me, though. I like America.
Yeah, this good white man, where can you go and get a better house than here?
Yeah, you know, that's old concept. And Sonia says, real quick, I think he fell on the wrong sword pertaining to Marc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he knows fat meat is greasy now, don't he?
Sure do.
And then, hey, also Sonia again, he says, real quick, oh no, I read that already. Sammy, it says, hey, it's LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow. What? Okay. That looks like, I don't know, that Sammy with a picture of a white woman.
Yeah, Sammy Gunn.
Will you read us a book?
It's just a troll.
I know it's a troll.
It's a troll.
I'm going to be nice because that's what I do. Don't force my hand, though. And Nancy says, Donovan. I love you, my black brother, period. But that is still out of sync to a degree. Because if you are doing so much, how can we support you if you don't let us know? So many work behind, the scene, but we need them to step into the light, which might be that encouragement to move somebody else a step up.
I agree with you. However, everybody fights their battles different. And like I said, I'm not one of those people. Like, I know I come up here and I like to laugh and joke and stuff. But again, if you were in this community, you would know exactly what I do and how I do it.
Donovan is doing the damn thing. And Al says, so to the people who don't like your man going to the games like Pastor Matthews in the state of F off the page, you know what? Calm down, brother.
Yeah, no, but Nancy, I hear what you're saying, but like I said, and maybe it's like I said, it's individuals, or like you said, it's, everybody's got to, take a part in it, right? I believe I've done that and then some. And if you were in this community, you would really know a lot of stuff
Marshall
that
Martin
I'm
wants to know why you people always complaining so much. I don't know who you talking about, you people. You want to clarify that? And Sammy says, what's wrong with being white? Listen, I want to say this because I don't know if you're a troll.
He's a troll.
And I'm going to assume that you are a troll, but I will say this, Sammy, don't ever get it twisted because black people are talking about black people that we talking bad about white people. Black people should be able to talk about black people without you getting in your white feelings. Don't ever think because I throw a black power, that means something against you. Now, if you got a problem wrong with being white. I can't do nothing about that. All I'm trying to do is promote being black. Now, we can talk about being black. I can't tell you about what's wrong with being white. I could, but I'm going to be nice. And then you say, is this the Black Panther Party? No, that's on another page. I can direct you to that, and I think they would tell you the same thing. So that's the last time I'm going to address you unless you being serious. Nancy says, touche, my black brother, touche.
There you go.
Okay. And Deanna says, replying to Sammy, do you have something better to do? No, they don't. That's what white supremacists do. This is guys, take notes, okay? I know we're belaboring the point.
This is the education.
Take notes, okay? This is what white supremacy does. It gets in the way of black progress in any way, shape, or form that they can. This is why I said, too, that the revolution should never be televised or done in the open, because white supremacy hates when they see black people talking about unity, because they always think that means something against them. But you know what? If I was Sammy, I would take offense to that too, because you know you and all your ancestors have aided in the demise, partially, mostly in the black community. So yeah, I see why you getting your feelings hurt, but you know what? This ain't about you. This is about us.
Amen.
I'm sorry.
No, amen.
Okay. All right, and so, okay.
Just ignore that.
And so, Aiden says, okay, some more chose. Nothing wrong with being white.
But they just proved what your
that's
point.
what white supremacists do. They get in the business of black people and try to hijack the narrative. But you know what? And conscious, sorry y'all, from a black people, I just gotta let them know we ain't falling for the okie doke. And conscious thought says, keep fighting in silence. That's cool, but stop supporting the football. It's like being right and wrong. You are conscious of it. Absolutely. And Nancy says, no, this is what so-called white support this does. They try and support us with their own guidelines and rules. Absolutely. And let's see. Al says, they're crying about the games. Tell your audience to put the candy bar and unhealthy foods down. Boycott the grocery liquor store. Okay, listen, Al, let me tell you this, okay? Y'all gonna get me in rare form today. God damn it, y'all asking for it. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Al, I'm gonna say this to you. I love you to death. You know I do. But sometimes we gotta just take the message for what it is. Don't internalize everything. Just say, you know what, there's validity to that. Now you're taking it to unhealthy foods. Listen, I was always told if a rock is thrown into the crowd, the one that hollers is the one that got hit. And so if you are taking exception to what is being said about football, maybe it's because you need to do some things differently. That's all I'm saying. I never tell you what to do because you're your own man. I can never tell you what to do. But if you are taking an emotional exception to what's being said, maybe there's some validity to it. That's all I'm saying. And so... and somebody says, open a business, we will come. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, this is some more trolls on here.
Trolls.
Okay, and then so Deanna says, the white tears are real right now. Don't they know we thrive on those? Yes. White tears is like power to us, baby. We ain't scared of you. You ain't nobody. We ain't ever got to bow down and scratch when we don't itch around you. So you can come on here all you want to, but you will never, ever interrupt this blackness. Now, Conscious says, don't feed that cracker none of your energy. Stay on course.
There you go.
Absolutely. You know what, Conscious thought? I'm going to take your advice. And also, I am going to get out of here because I have been on here longer than normal, obviously, because we have unearthed the trolls. And so, but I love it. I love it because you know what? When we get white supremacy on here, guess what that means?
Means a lot.
The message is getting out.
Thank
you. Thank you so much. And so anyway,
you're validating our show.
To my Facebook audience and to YouTube, I thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe to the Demetra K channel on YouTube where we upload these videos and other things. It is always my pleasure to be here with you guys and to do this, to talk about blackness always. Also, thank you to my partner in crime, my DJ, Donovan Sadiq, for making this happening always. Without him, we could not do this. Also, a big thank you to Marcus Guyton for spreading the message, to, making it go further than ever possible. We are a dynamic team. When I say we, I mean me,
Marcus.
Donovan. I know I'm grammatically correct, and Marcus and you guys as the audience. So I thank you so much, and we will do this again next week. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, it would be my pleasure to address them. I'll read these last comments before we go. Jasmine, hey, what's happening? He says, thank you. And Nancy says, I love to see white people show their true character. It reinforces everything they truly stand for when They act as if we are wrong to stand up for herself against them. I may be in America, but it's my everyday belief that I must say out loud, F America.
Amen.
And Jasmine says peace. And let's see. Deanna says, replying to Sammy, girl, you need to save your 25 cents and buy some hormone blocker because your Adam's apple is showing.
Now, Deanna, that's not nice.
Peace.